Alright, this Photoshop video tutorial is only a sample video brought to you by MasterFlash.net. Alright, working with smart objects to create solid looking templates. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this one. Obviously I'm using wedding pictures, hence the beginning of the end. Alright, and really all I've got set up here is so if we were to change this smart object out, or actually replace the smart object, the entire template would adjust itself. And then, most likely cases, the only time you'd have to edit something is depending on the actual image size that you're replacing it with. Okay, and I'll show you what I'm talking about a little bit later. Alright, so instead of walking through that, I'm going to go ahead and let's do this from scratch. Inside of the source files that you downloaded, you'll find the original image that we're using here. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click and drag that into Photoshop. Alright, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save this as a PSD. I'm just going to come here, PSD, and grab this template one up here and replace it. Alright, once I get that done, I'm just going to come down here, bring the layers in. Of course, if you don't know how to access your layers, just come up here to Window, select Layers. Alright, and our goal here is to create this into a smart object, so no matter how many times we use this image, if it's a smart object and we replace it, it's going to replace everything no matter what. So I'm just going to go ahead and right click on this layer, convert to smart object. Okay, and then I'm going to duplicate it. So I'm just going to hit Control J, and of course you can always right click on it, duplicate layer, Control J, good shortcut. I'm going to go ahead and label this. I'm going to call this in focus, and this bottom one I'm going to go ahead and call this out of focus. Alright, so I'm going to grab the in focus layer and hit Control T to bring up the free transform tool. And up across the top up here, it allows us to size this how we want manually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maintain aspect ratio. And the reason why I do it up here is because it'll keep the image centered regardless of how you edit it. Alright, so I'm going to punch this down to about 50. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Or you can just check mark over here. And I'm going to slide this down a little bit. Kind of bring these two so you can see them. Should be good. Alright. Okay, so with that done, I'm going to go ahead and grab the out of focus layer down here. And let's see. I'm going to go ahead and apply the blur to it. So let's go ahead and hop up the filter, blur, location blur. Alright. And obviously I've been working on this prior, testing and playing around with some things, but this the blur is going to be up to you and how much, depending on what kind of lighting you're going to put in. Also, if you add on to what we do in here, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with this 20.5. Obviously, if we dropped it down more, it's just going to bring it in clear. Get it back to 20. There we go. Just going to hit OK. All right, and notice it creates a smart filter blur. Okay, and the next thing that we need to do is let's go ahead and grab the in focus layer. That is the end of the sample Photoshop video tutorial. To get your hands on source files and view the entire tutorial, head towards masterflash.net. Hope you enjoy it.